Good morning. Ugly day yesterday. All right. So where's it going to go? Cues are on a little support here. Markets aren't moving up. Pre-market, they hold on a second. I got to turn this off. Okay. You know, Dan, that's on multiple. Your charts are up. Click the thing at the top and you can see my charts. You can see. And everybody can see my charts in the room here. Okay, great. All right. So let's review a few things here. I put this blue line in between here. Oh, free my ass. Um, you see it on the weekly chart? The congestion has to line up in both places, of course. The purple line on the weekly chart, that's the lower left there. The 20 MA is there and it's lined up with that congestion. And also see the pivot high is a little bit lower. Well, a little bit further to the left from March. So you got a confluence of reference points in that area. Right? It's an area, give or take. So looks to me like this gap was filled right there. So I think this, I mean, I'm not thinking, of course, we start with a reference point that might be where things slow down. Another thing is that this move yesterday started from a small congestion. Wasn't like this fell in a fluid manner down to here to this support. No, it sat there like it gapped up, as you can see. It did get rejected the day before yesterday, and that added a little bit of gas to the fire, so to speak, or refilling the tank. And it stopped there for a couple of days, put a little bit more gas, which is supply. Buyers there looking for the bounce. It got rejected, and down it went yesterday. So, and back to our discussion about momentum moves, that this is in essence like one move. It's not because of that, but look, it just went down and it stalled a bit and down it went. So as we project our belief as to where prices might go to as a reference point, we now begin to apply other concepts. And being, where's my drawing tool here? Okay, there it is. All right. So our conversation was typically prices that start with momentum, they go up, and then you get another move down, and the distance between the lows gets closer together. This is the essence of what indicators do in different ways. So whether you're looking at an RSI versus a stochastic versus a rate of change or a momentum, everybody comes up with their latest, greatest idea on their own for the best indicator. All it's doing is looking at the price action, which we can do with our eyes. And this is what it is. Sometimes if this goes down, right, let's say it accelerates down there tomorrow, it's extended. You could say it was extended there, now it's extended there, now it gets more extended. And then someone will come up with their indicator and say, oh, it's oversold. Yeah. Okay. So now, once the momentum begins to slow, assuming it does, it will at some point. It could go down to major support. We don't know. But this is what we're looking for. So yesterday was another continued move down after this congestion. And so if we do see that, then maybe the retest, which would be great. And the bigger the bottom is, the better. So, at least having some kind of congestion like it is down there. some kind of price action that backs and fills, and we can look at the day-to-day data, and see if rejections or whatever the prices might be that guide us to our reference point is holding or not. Right? That's what we do. We look at what is, and all right, based on how we interpret things, all right, things are starting to come together here, and we'll look at our market internals for that, which have not aligned yet. And so all of this bullish sentiment that was going on here is now starting to unravel, and eventually, and it doesn't have to collapse to get down there. On a day-to-day basis, it'd be more put options being bought, and you drop off the older data just like any other moving average, and it'll begin to move down. Breadth has not reached an extreme yet. You can see minus 42 needs to come down into here. Could happen today. Daily sentiment, we could take a peek. And put call. Oh, those are put calls. That's not the chart I wanted. Do you see a possible buy setup on W? Well, yeah. I mean, W is a retest pattern. I mean, we don't have it yet. So, like, this is a sloppy kind of a W down here. We wouldn't put that in a textbook and show you as a W, but everything, from a textbook perspective is, hey, this is what we look for. And then there are, of course, different variations. Yeah. So the selling yesterday down here at a minus 1700, minus almost 1800, there was a lot of decliners yesterday. So we'll see what today is, and we look at this intraday to measure the day. This is confirmation of that. And so as this comes lower, maybe sometimes you get a higher low. So we recognize that as some stocks showing relative strength under the hood. Oh, it's good selling yesterday. And when you're saying on the weekly, we don't want a W on the weekly. We don't always get what we want. Why don't I want a W on the weekly? This isn't an uptrend, right? So now, as we mentioned in MT Live yesterday, we interpret everything the same way, regardless of the time frame. Now, different time frames look different because you're expanding data or compressing data. As we compress the data and this comes down here, maybe we get 3 weeks down, and then it begins to hold in this area, and we get a bottoming tail bar or something. So in an uptrend, I don't want a W. I want to see that buyers are more aggressive. That isn't to say it won't happen, but to form a W on the weekly time frame is going to take a month and a half. So no, we don't want that. Right? But we'll see. As time goes on, bring up the question again, and we'll take a look. All right. So that's the cues. Volatility index. I don't know if Alex is in the room. I didn't look. But Alex uses a tool which is proven to be relatively good as a guide. This time, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think I can show it over here. It's like a 1-day rate of change of the VIX. Anyway, when it reaches, I'll find out and I'll share it with you tomorrow. At different extremes, it's worked out well as one of our guides. Now, it went up to like 25 yesterday. It's like a crazy high number compared to the historical chart. But what we've done over the decades is, with the volatility index, is just look to the left. Hey, it's up at a prior high. You see my little alert right there? So if prices continue lower in the broader markets today and the VIX goes up, my alert's going to go off and it's going to say, hey, you're near that prior high. Start looking to see if there's any bottoming action. Another thing that you could look for, put call ratios. This is your total put call ratio. And I don't know, this was a bad tick on that day. I remember this day. So on my other computer, I had fixed that. But anyway, see this alert right here? No, that's the total. That's the total. Yeah, and that's the equity. 1.3. Set an alert at 1.3. Set another alert at 1.5. Those levels have not been hit in a very, very long time. So that's it's like a NYSE tick extreme hitting minus 1,000 or minus even 1,500. So when you have a tremendous amount of puts being bought and that hits 1.3 or 1.5 intraday, a lot of times that's going to set a low at that point in the day. So there's a little tip. You put your put call ratio and, even if it's in your minder or whatever, just set an alert there. Won't go off much, but when it goes off, it's a good historical reference point that you're close to a low point. Okay. Spiders stopped on the 20 MA. You've got this little major support area there. Unfilled gap is lurking down below. Where we at? Basically unchanged. Everybody's holding their breath, saying maybe we're going to get some kind of a bounce or the next leg down. And today's Thursday. There was some news this morning, economic news. I didn't even check it, but obviously it hasn't had much of an effect on anyone's movement. So there's major support. There's the next. There's an unfilled gap over here. Set an alert in that area. You don't have to watch it. Just let the computer watch it and see. When prices come down there, you're aware that you're in an area of support that says, hey, there's so many different ways of utilizing this information to your advantage. You got to think about it in that. And why set these alerts? Well, obviously, you want to know if the major markets are reaching reference points where they're going to bottom. But as they're going down there, you're seeing this bearish price action. You may be ready to hit the button to sell short XYZ because it's going to break down below the base. Well, historically, as the markets are getting to a climactic point, you might hit that button and it goes right up in your face. So it's one way of saying, hey, maybe this looks like it's going to go lower, but my timing based on the broader markets doesn't support this in the moment. So you may say, I wish I would have taken it. Meaning it may go down, but we're always looking for probabilities as to, is this a high probability short on XYZ when the markets are at a significant support level and they've been falling for 2 weeks. So if you're not aware, we were covering this in the green room yesterday, that even at this point, I'm just getting this new computer set up here, so I don't know how this is going to show me the way the other one did, but it looks like. All right, so that's where we're at. So this is just set. That's how many points it fell, but just for looking the percentage difference. So markets are down, right? 8%, give or take. Now, one of the things we want to look at, where would it be if it was down 10%? Because a lot of people talk about a 10% correction. And so now it's not subjective. Where is a 10% correction from the high? It's down here. Where's the 20 MA on the weekly and that congestion? Down there. So again, we have some confluence of information. There's an unfilled gap. There's a 20 MA on the weekly, which is equal to the 100 MA on the daily. And you've got a congestion area and 10%. So institutions will be thinking, right, where do we want to buy? It's down far enough. 10% correction into a gap fill, into congestion. would make sense to start stepping in and pick up something. And of course, you can look at things that are starting to show relative strength. So let's continue. SPX on the 20 MA, major support. Let me check the numbers. Yeah, come on. Oh, maybe, is it too late for them to fill in? No, I guess it is. You see on TC 2000, if they're, let's see here. 53, 5310, 5310, 5315. Good number. And being down there on that support level, and it's very far away. Even if we had the same size day down, yesterday, today, it would only put it around there. So that's your line of defense. It's even before that. Um, that took the decimals out. Interesting. All right, some things to fix up. And, oh yeah, I got to look on the other platform. Interesting. 5520. No, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what happened there. 5520. Let me move on so Dan can step in. But that down there, I think, is a no-brainer. It's already down. And you're even below. No. Well, let's see. Let's see what the percentage difference is here. How much this one is down. For 5% difference. Almost 5%. And if it was to come down here eventually, would be about a 6% correction. We'll see. But right now it's on the 50 and it's not doing anything. All right. VIX, I think we already looked at. Up there is the alert. SMHs, of course, we're getting killed, breaking down on some support. Maybe you have to come down to that pivot. 20, it's on the 100. Remember, the 20 MA is equal to the 100 on the daily. So we don't have to put the 100 on the daily. Try to avoid the spaghetti screen. But you can see where my cursor is right there. It's close to that pivot on the daily and that support. Set an alert. Maybe you get it. Goes down there. Go look at your 5-minute chart. SOXL, leveraged SMHs, or you could look at whatever stocks you choose. And same story. XLK beat up. Right. You see that pounded down. So that's what we need to do. IWM showing great relative strength, but it's gotten real sloppy. So far, maybe it just chopped sideways. And you remember when this thing came out of the blocks, gap down yesterday, it ripped right back up there and then it crashed back down again. So, some wild price action. Transports right all the way back down again. So we'll see how it unfolds. Bitcoin, I have it here. I got to fix things up here, but oil, was down here a little bit. Bitcoin was all over the place yesterday, but see what it is. All yours, Dan.
All right. Yeah, my bad, my bad. It's this, new Zoom setting, it shuts off the mic on me. All right, so I said daily bear 123. I said yesterday MT live. We talked about 123s. The week's not over, of course. But that is a quality igniting 123 on the weekly chart. So that supports the bearish bias of the little bear flag there. So sure, I'll put that on the list. I don't have any alarms going off. We have a very light inventory. Let me go right to earnings here. There's a ton of them. I already went through and deleted a bunch of them. All right, I have Ford here, bottom right. That's quite a nasty gap after move from here to here. So let's see what it does. Just because I have it in the window, look at Echo Whiskey here. Look at that. It's $20 lower than the low of my daily chart. Man, what happened with this thing? Um, which, oh, losing. That's hard to believe, Patrick. How can you lose more than I tell you, I'm throwing out a number. I would think that their average cost is 33, not cost, sales price 33. How can you lose more than retail? But we'll come back and talk later. Power downtrend, gapping up. We said monthly was a climb. So climbers on monthlies work. Our patterns work on all time frames. QS 623 getting whacked, but no interest. NEM 4620. The gap's making that an M top. That would be a call spread. So, I just got to delete some of these because otherwise I'm going to be overwhelmed. But I'm giving you my bias, obviously, on the chart. Um, if it meets your trading plan, LBS, daily, weekly, monthly, all nasty. Now, this is not a gap. I mean, that's 30-minute low. I mean, we'll see how far it bounces. IWM, we were talking about doing a condor. I sent an order, did not get filled. We'll come back. 57 and a quarter. Gap in a resistance, bullish gap over a red bar, but still range bound. Nilly opening flat-ish. Yes, I'd say, wait 10 minutes or so. And then if it takes out yesterday's low, start with a day trade. Man, look at this gap. Look at this gap into this prior below this prior low. There's some nasty gaps today. I'm not even near done. This is a beautiful pattern, daily, weekly, monthly. If it wasn't up 4 bars, I'll watch it on a pullback. Slim Shady. That's just too far from the 20. 30-minute low would be a call spread. There's my Echo Whiskey, INVH, gapping down, $35. Bearish gap. I don't like overlapping bars like that. Raymond James gapping up a little bit, no interest, downtrend, Teradyne. See, now that's an ugly gap, but still looks lower. But for me, the gap's too big to think about it short without it, giving me a pattern here after 3 p.m. I'm not sure what you mean. It's not changing our phone. Greg, maybe can you type and help Irfan out? Um, there's not a good print here. We'll come back. RSG came down hard. Looks like a buy setup that will fail. White House, ugly sell off into earnings. Whirlpool opening flat, no interest. Clack, now that's a nice gap to resistance here. If this can go sideways until 10 a.m. as a void, this could be a beautiful day trade. This thing can go to 785. That's $10 higher. I'm gonna put that in a window, other computer. And it possibly, I love that today's Thursday because that means we can look for one DTE credit spreads, 778 bullish gap, put spread idea on a pullback. I'll put that in a window. Thumbnail. Helix gapping down, no interest. These are climbos. If I don't see any changes here, I'm not gonna even look at it now. A 720 bullish gap at no pattern and no volume. Mo 322. That's an igniting gap. 8 days ago. No, Don, I said a couple times. I didn't get filled on either one. That 8 days ago, MT Live, we talked about gaps. That's an igniting gap right there, but it's extended. I'll watch it on a pullback. Mo. Algin was another one I tried Condor, did not get filled. I forget what strikes we were looking at. I think the 205, if I'm not mistaken, but nevertheless, that's a bearish gap. All right, no prints there. 312. See, all all I do on these gappers, I just see where it's printing, and then I look on the chart. Where is that? And then I make my quick two-step assessment. That's an excessive, ugly gap, but I don't have a bias. A DTE alarm just went off. I like that daily, weekly, monthly. We'll come back to it though. Rawlings, call spread if there's any juice. Wow, whiskey might getting whacked. Okay, see, buyers stepped up right away. So I like to keep an eye on this. Whiskey Mike. That's going in a window. That would be a great one DTE put spread, but I don't trade in the first 5 minutes. All right, so when we get a nasty day like yesterday, it's totally normal to get a little relief bounce. And I don't know if Greg said it or not, but our factory work is, we want it to stay in the bottom 40%. Ideally, I don't want it to get over this 15-minute resistance. Let's just call it 545, 544. So as long as it stays below there, I'm still short bias for continuation. All right, knock. Gap's too big. I'll knock now. AMP, no pattern. Top of India. That's a mess. I'm saying you can tell my tone. I'm like stretching, but maybe 30-minute high. Put a one DTE put spread. That's a gap and go. But chasing Mike Charlie. It's a bull flag. I'll keep it on the list. All right, that's another nasty gap. Man, there's some nasty gaps today. All right, that's a sloppy buy setup from a square top. No interest, no interest. FAF, no interest. Wait, that's not even trading yet. All right, so that's old data. This gap's too big. Yeah, now I saw moving. I put it in a window. That's a bullish gap. I just not chasing. I need them to settle down where I get my setup or I miss it. There's a big old let's say igniting gap, but wow, look at the monthly Sam I am. That's a buy setup on the monthly with a void. All right, I'm gonna keep that on the list, although I just, that's so far away from the 20. That's not bad. Let's watch that on a pullback off Lima. Orin, I see my charts aren't, well, it's not my chart's fault, but look, it's trading at 910 and it's not being printed on the daily here. That's because this is pre-market. I guess the market maker is still at the donut shop. John XEL. It's too far from the 20 for me. Where's your entry stop? D is significantly better, John. Closer to support, closer to a 180. You have a void. This would be an ideal, I'm just spitballing, 15-minute high. Do you see you see and hear my tonality plus do you see it yourself? The difference of those two in terms of a new trade? Now, whenever I say new trade, that doesn't mean it's the stronger of the two. It means we're traders in a pattern and reward to risk and all that jazz. All right, LRCX I deleted. It's not holding. I was hoping it'd hold here at this 15-minute resistance. All right. Club, I'll leave it on the list. That's a buy setup. See, when we talk about coming in a fluid controlled manner, that's fluid and controlled, but I need a friggin' reversal bar, which I don't have. So I'm actually going to set up and down alarms. The up alarm, 22.25. Down alarm, 21. And then I'll take a look at it if the alarm goes off. But that's a buy setup. The only downside is we say buy setups after climos have high, they aren't as good because because they're not on good support the turn. All right, I had XLP alarm go off. Oh, we're in this. So my up alarm went off. All right, Whiskey Mike. I mentioned put spread that now is ripping, so I doubt we're going to get any juice. But let me look. The 200s for tomorrow would be fantastic. 10 cents by 20. So that messed up that trade. VRE, no pattern. Burkle, no pattern. They've been strong, but no pattern. Strong. That's a nasty whackage. Condor. Condor, if there's any juice. Orly ripping, put spread. Let me look. He's typically very spready though. Look at Ford bottom right. Big old gap down. It still isn't no buyers yet. Our cues on deep retracement here to the pre-market low, 15 minutes, without pre-market is continuation down from yesterday. Poorly. Yeah, puts are ridiculous. 5 cents by $5. Yeah, go F yourself. But I'll leave it on the list. Maybe if we get a 1, 2, 3. This is the one I said. Condor. Ugly. Club alarm already went off. That's the buy setup I just talked about. But I'm not doing anything now. But that's definitely a watch. Wow. That's up over $5 from the low. AZN looks like a 30-minute low short and call spread. Look at this big old topping pattern on gapping under a green bar under the 2050. That's ugly. It would be a gift. The 80s, 3 cents next week. 14 by 23. It's an ADR, so it gaps. TT is range bound, but call spread idea. Look at the monthly. The monthly on TT. This, there's no entry on the daily weekly yet, but that has a lot of room to fall. This actually could be the home run entry. Stop week's high. There's no weeklies, but I would still do a call spread. Um, Wait, why does it say earnings 731? Let me verify on TC. There's plenty of juice, but they're spreading. Yeah, it says earnings 731. Why the heck did it sit on my gap list? All right, well, forget that. That's why the premiums are so high. KOG. Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Look at the weekly. That is beautiful alignment. Yes, just buy it here. It looks fantastic. Thank you. Um, Looks fantastic. Has a bottoming pattern. All right, so buy it here, stop yesterday's low. I'll worry about updating it later. Yeah, I guess so. That's okay. We got plenty of time, and we might even decide to sit through it a little, I don't know, I'll decide later. Uh, JB Hunt up alarm, good. That went against us a little bit. Let me check puts also. But this is a pattern, Steve. I personally would not mind selling puts in the earnings if they're juicing. They're 3 weeks out and the 15s naked are only 20 cents, so not that great. Look at Wow, Ford is getting whacked. What's his cousin doing? His cousin's holding up okay. Echo whiskey. A little bit of buying there. 30-minute high, maybe one DTE puts run. All right, JB Hunt alarm. Hey, the old Hunt master's going. Sam, is that a word? What is a Hunt master? Was there another earnings stock that put fire in this today? Because that's a big move. Hey, Don, look at this CBRE. I was hoping that it was going to get up to 110 up here, like this thing showed. It's still not ready because it's above the open and showing strength. But if that did go up to 110 and then, 10-minute low, whatever, 60, 15, then that would have been a good gap and crimp. 160. All right, let's just sell half of this hunt. Just because, it's been on probation a little bit. And we'll stop break even. 69. All right, we got a beautiful gain now. We got $4 gain. Wow, it's ripping. Damn, I keep typing in my number here and it keeps going higher. So if you want to, try to squeeze out a few more pennies, you put it in a 1 or 2 minute chart. But I don't have time or desire for that. And you could check a put spread on that too. Um, so 4 doing nothing. We're still short DRQ. Doing nothing. I'm gonna set a lower alarm, 1640. Hey Greg, you kept saying your new computer. Did you have to reformat it? Because I know it's not new.
No, Dan. They said I had to ship the one I was using was out of warranty. So I had to ship it to them to try and fix it. And they're gonna call me to let me know.
Oh,
Maybe it was a Microsoft update. Maybe I don't can't imagine how anything broke because it never leaves my desk. So it was going to take 2 weeks. And I'm like, I can't deal with this. My
no.
docking station that connects everything doesn't work on my older one. So I bought another one.
Ah,
They
so
sent it
what
to me in a day.
you bought a new Dell over and they got it in a day?
Yep.
Wow. So you didn't have it customized then. How
Well,
much?
they have a new model. I buy gaming computers and pretty nice in that they had a deal, right? Deal on a 16-inch one. I guess that's a new size. I said, I don't want a bigger computer. He said, fine with the 15. It's on my desk or whatever. And so the way they designed this a little differently is, which I don't like, is that they don't have the numbers on the right, like a calculator thing. It's at the top. But anyway, they designed it so that the it's actually a little smaller than my 15, but the screen is still an inch bigger.
Right. Yeah. Oh, RCL
So
finally might be topping out. And having a good day. I know I can't live without stuff, but yeah, I have backup computers. Tosco put spread idea. Bear gap and bullies. Yeah, Alex, their gaming computers are not I got the XPS. The gaming computer's different.
it's got the same processor,
Right.
but it's made to run whatever cooler. It's a little thicker than an XPS is more sleek.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a little lighter.
I got Weight Watchers. I can't watch everything, but that was a nice move. There's a put spread idea, capping over a red bar, major support. Fangs weakening here. Meta, Google, Netflix, all the fangs except Tesla. Ugly 15-minute charts, including AMD, NVIDIA, IBM on its own page on earnings to the upside. Um, all right, where am I? Task, no, Dove. The ones, see if they have 177.50s. There's no weeklies. And the 175s are too spready, but let's see how it closes. I wouldn't mind the 175 put spread. Nasty gap, WST, all time frames, breakdown. This could be the start, maybe, of a breakdown failure, but I still don't like it as to get over the weak side. I would enough to look at. RS, gapping over a big old nasty red bar. That's worth watching on a pullback. Look at Echo Whiskey here, turning. Let me check put spread on him. Let me put RS here. All right, so ideally what you want on RS is for it to reverse right here, pretty soon on this minor support. And then I like the daily and the gap. There's no weeklies, but I like it as a directional if we get our setup. Wow, Greg, the 270 puts are 90 cents for 3 weeks out. That seems pretty darn juicy. What did I say on Dove? And Dove 175. All right, so here to August put spread watches, you all. Put Dove on another screen. All right, DRQ up alarm. We only have a third left. It's an early alarm. That's right there. I'll just let it play out, but it looks inevitable. All right, our real stop is 1656, so I'll just leave it. All right, crowd. I like things that get killed. I guess it'll turn one of these days. TMOS gapped over bottoming tail. Let's put spread idea. We're club. Are we in it? Oh, yeah, no, Alex, I mentioned it 5 times. I like it as a buy setup. I just, still cautious on longs, but no, I talked about it for a while. It's an earnings stock, but you see how much I'm deleting here, and I obviously kept that one. All right, let me check TMOS for tomorrow. That'd be great. The 175s. It's so weird how diamonds and IWM have been so correlated, and Qs and spiders also going opposite directions. No juice for tomorrow. All right, Echo Whiskey, let me check. What number is that? 63. There's no weeklies. Shoot. Surely I'm not going out 3 weeks on that nasty gap. Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned that yesterday. I liked it. Yeah, club. I like ELV. Nice. Yeah, I remember yesterday you mentioned that, and then I was watching it. I was hoping it'd go sideways until after 3, and so yeah, good job. Allie, I like better now than, the day we talked about it because I got more data now. It's built a bigger turn and it's trading over two talking tos. Why is that a laugh, Sam? It's a fact. I have more data. But am I buying it now? No. And why am I not? Because I don't like the spiders and cues. That's the answer. But XLF is strong. So, it's just not my bag, baby, as Austin Powers says. All right. Man. All right, Greg. I'm just gonna trail a friggin' 5 minute bars low. 171.66. All right. CBRE. Yeah, so there's no trade for me. So there's not, I got zero interest in him. HUN, that's not my setup with a weak market. XPO alarm. Ah, so we're getting, yeah, look at it, transports ripping. So that's explaining this. We're short the 95 puts. Let's see if we have an open profit now. So this is another with our JB Hunt. We're in two truckers. 95, it's 85 now. So we only have a 15-cent open profit. Wow, we have amazingly light inventory. Crazy light. This LQDA. Set an alarm 11:27. I know it's going bananas, so we're gonna sell into banana land. I'll put it here so I can watch it better. Sell into banana land. Does that make sense, Sam? Dude, I ain't getting, swing bullish here with Q's making new lows. I mean, that's a nasty gap, nasty selling bar. I did not expect a big bounce today, which we're obviously not getting. Well, we already sold half done, and I just posted a thing to sell the back half on our 5 minute bars low, but obviously people can manage any way they want. Yeah, I said earlier, there must be some transports here getting these cooking, unless Kamala maybe came out and said she's going to get rid of Ubers and cars, and we gotta all share a ride with trucks. Just jump into a truck going by, and then that could explain some of the strength today. We start at the top now. Ford. That's a nasty, nasty. I'm just curious, how many years do you got to go back to see a gap this nasty on Ford? I have no freaking idea. And I don't, it's just, I'll keep CMG on my list, kind of like the other thing, just to see when it's going to turn. IBM, nice day. What was my number? 197? Yeah, so that would have been still good. Crowd. Yeah, crowd's the other one I'm keeping on my list, but no pattern yet. Maxwell. Hey, Maxwell found, hey, it's almost 10 a.m. This could be a 1 BT year. So IBM obviously is helping the Dow out, that's for sure. Honeywell doing 10. I'm glancing up. Microsoft. Wow, for the Dow to be this strong with Microsoft, with Honeywell down 10 and Microsoft down 7, is pretty impressive. Very impressive. There's no weeklies, but they're very juicy, the 15s. But this could very well give you a nice day trade. That's an inverse head and shoulder looking at pre-market data. But not me, not with Q's spiders, just continuing yesterday's sell-off now. Not me. All right, so yesterday we made my first target. I said second target gap fill. So we got another $5 for that. CYH. Take a while to stabilize. Paradigm is the one I said pre-market, nasty gap, but looks lower. Ideally, it keeps selling off to the 200. $42% 2 years ago? In friggin' credible. I don't remember that. Yeah, KNX. Yeah, there you go. There's earnings. Co-pilot answer. That's a good answer, actually. Clacks a 1, 2, 3. If it closes like this. Beautiful 1, 2, 3. Let me check call spread for tomorrow. 780s. There's juice. There's spready, but juice. Um, Beautiful juice. That's too damn spready. Jeez. Yeah, yeah, that was a nice gapper. WCM would be a call spread. Waste connections. There's no weeklies. Don, I told you, buddy. I don't know if you're not here, if your mic doesn't work. I told you if it gapped up $10 and took out a 10-minute low, it'd be a gap in crap. This one I said igniting gap. I was hoping it'd give us a controlled pullback. This is the one I was trying to do a condor, didn't get filled. Mess.
Qs are almost at that target I was talking about, a little bit more.
Mastercraft, if we get a 1, 2, 3, I will like. RHI, let me check puts. No weeklies. I got gaps too big, but look at the monthly. It's just for me to get a daily entry I'm comfortable with. I just know that it's going to take minimum of a week. Because I gotta let it chop around, chop around. But I like the weekly monthly, so I'll keep it. All right, there's Club. Alex came in, but I'm gonna keep it. Orly, I said I was hoping to get a 1, 2, 3, but now the bar's too big. This one I said a condor. Let me look, since Sam's not helping me today for some reason. And there's no weeklies and two illiquid. This alarm went off. Let's see how it closes. Ice, baby. All right, look at RS here. So see, I was hoping it would reverse on that minor support. So now I just delete it. Got no interest. Yeah, ice is strong. It's probably holding well because of NDAC earnings. But yeah, I'll put it on the list, Patrick. Gold and metals are down. The GDX, XME. There's a failed buy setup. And that actually was a good buy setup for a bounce. And failed. All right, we're at a JB Hunt. Nice trade. So look at this. We got out right here. 173.06. Bitcoin cracking 15-minute support here. All right, we made almost $7 on JB Hunt. Take it. Crowd turned negative here. I see down $5. Yeah, I think this thing still has a lot of room to fall. When we trade Climos, more bars, far more fluid bars down, far from the 20, the better. $200 put spread, 40 cents, not enough. Hymns from yesterday. Sam I am. Is this a Sam I am trade? I'll set and learn 22.55. It's holding pretty darn well with the market sell-off of Qs and spiders. Yeah, I already got an alarm there. Okay, well, then I don't know where I found it. Sam, this one's you, and you didn't give me final warning, RYI. I wouldn't have done it, but still, I would appreciate a final warning like your mentor does. Oh, this no triggered yesterday, but I don't know if we got the premium. Yeah, there's no way I can tell. I can tell by the premium. Look, that was in the weekend letter. And look, it triggered yesterday. I remember my alarm went off during MT Live, I think. But no, it's impossible that we got filmed, so let me cancel it. Um, I forget, Patrick, your D's ripping. I gave you the green light on that this morning. Nice, whatever you did, 5, 10 minute high. Nice job, nice find. Oh, let me post this one from earlier. Oh, I said Dove. What's the other one? Let me put Dove here. Ah, Dove held. I mentioned that as a put spread. All right, so RS fell, but Dove held. All right, we were buying Clig. Clig at 1690. Whatever the heck a Clig is. Clig. Yields coming in, VIX rising. AD line is holding positive. The gap up all day. I'm surprised. So again, the same story. IWM breadth is greater than the narrow breadth on Spider's Qs. That's how I read it. All right, nice clig, Alex. Thanks for that. And you know, when we show all of our concepts on MT Live and there's like 10 of them, and I'm sure new people say, "Oh man, this looks like brain damage." And I say, "Look, when you internalize it, it takes a half a second. So as soon as you showed me that clig, half a second, absolutely, looks great." So I digested all those concepts in a half a second. Clig's ripping, nice. So look at that beautiful bicep. Again, I ain't expecting a new high. If this thing goes on $19, it'll be a home run. Is that right? All right, so this is old, so don't get all ornery. Yeah, I prefer 1, 2, 3, but I like the engulfing gap down, blah blah. But I'm in no rush.